Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to replace the fuel pump in a 2010 Toyota Corolla. This is for the 2009 to 2013, but let's go ahead and get started with showing you guys the parts. All right, so what we have right here is the brand new fuel pump. This thing looks so nice and clean, and I kind of did it off camera, but there's this whole little assembly right here. Whenever it does come in, it's actually not connected. So what you have to do is just kind of push it in place and then push down until it clicks. And then this little tab will kind of pop underneath, and then that'll be locked into place. But I picked this up on Amazon. There's going to be links in the description down below, so you guys can go hop on, pick that up. It's super cheap, and apparently it has a lot of great reviews. So we're going to definitely try it out and see if everything works. But also we have to get this little tool right here. This is not the exact recommended tool. The original tool has like a little, one little notch in the bottom. This one has like a little tab that sticks down, but this is significantly cheaper. It should still work just the same. And then also a breaker bar, because there's going to be a big kind of ring thing that goes around the original one to pop it off. So let's go ahead, open the door, and we're going to have to first pull out the seat. So let's go ahead and let me set up the camera so we can pull the whole seat cushion out, because yes, it is located in the back seat. I do suggest you open up the doors. I'm probably going to open up the garage door. It is raining, but I'm probably still going to open it up just because the gas fumes might be pretty strong. I went ahead and got the camera set up, and what you're going to do is kind of like this back corner over here, and that back corner can actually lift up a little bit. See, it kind of pops up, and then underneath, kind of like the center of each side, is going to be a clip. So I'm going to go ahead and just lift straight up. There we go. Now it pops out. Let me go around to the other side and pop that side out. All right. Let's get that up, and it does feel like I'm breaking it, but trust me, this is how it works. All right, there we go. Now we can slide this entire thing forward. And I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of flip it right up just so I can kind of keep it in the car still. But right here is the cover we're going to have to pull off to get to the fuel filter. But also I'm going to go ahead and get my shop vac. I'm going to clean this up. It looks like this car did actually have a busted window at some point, because there is broken glass actually up underneath where the seat is. Alright, so now that I went ahead and vacuumed up some around here. Also, I would suggest getting a vacuum, because sometimes under this cover it's actually pretty dirty. But we're going to go ahead and remove this cover next. It kind of has like this slimy kind of goo stuff all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and I have like a really thin kind of like pry tool, but I also have a plastic razor blade. So I'm going to see if maybe I can just get this up underneath. No, it's actually not going to be strong enough. Alright, let's see here. Alright, this actually is kind of working, the little pry tool. Alright. There we go. I don't know if this has been off before or not, but oh yeah, that is really, really dirty under there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just kind of lay this off to the side. And then I'm going to take the shop vac. I'm going to clean up all in there, because once we pull that out, that's going to go directly into the fuel tank. So I don't want all that dirt or all that grime to get all up in there. But before I go ahead and do that, let me go ahead and unplug this cable just so I can move this cover out of the way a little bit. So there's going to be a little tab on the side. We're going to go ahead and clip or push that in, and then we're going to pull this out. All right, there we go. Now I can kind of move that a lot more out of my way. All right, so now I went ahead and grabbed the tool, and these are actually adjustable. So I'm going to set it right down on here. I'm going to move these little arms kind of in a spot where they're all kind of like in a nice, good, solid spot. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the screwdriver and tighten those down. All right. There we go. And then if you actually do notice, like I did say, it does have these like little tabs that stick up, whereas the other ones has like a bar with like a little notch, and that notch will just kind of sit over top of one of those little spots. So with this, we can just kind of set it right in the middle, and then we go ahead and grab the breaker bar so we can go ahead and break that loose. But before we actually loosen this, we're actually going to go ahead and unplug the rest of the things on here, and these are super dirty, so it's kind of hard to see, but let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attempt to film this for you guys. So right here is actually a little yellow clip. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this backside, and we're going to kind of pull it off. And maybe you can kind of grab like that front and just kind of push it out a little bit, because the whole thing has to slide off. There we go. And let me go ahead and pull that off of there. There we go. I'm just going to pretty much set it aside so it doesn't get lost. And then over on this one, we got this red tab, so I'm going to go ahead and lift up on this side. and then try to get on that back and try to pop this out, kind of like the same type of clip. There we go. And then for this, it should just pop straight up. All right, so a little bit of fuel did come off of there. So keep in mind, this obviously is the fuel tank. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of move this out of the way here. And then we're gonna go ahead and slide this off as well. Might need to pull this red tab off a little bit further. All right, now we can go ahead and pull this off of there. All right, let me just try to maybe push it down out of the way here. And now we can go ahead and get the tool kind of lined up pretty much in somewhere in the grooves here. There we go. And now let me go ahead and grab the breaker bar and go ahead and pop that outer ring off. All right, so I did go ahead and open the garage door because the fumes are already getting strong and I haven't even popped this open yet. But let's go ahead and get the breaker bar set on here. And we're gonna go ahead and kind of hold it down into place, and then we're just gonna go ahead and unscrew it. All right. Just kind of set that back down in a different position here. Alrighty. I might be able to go ahead and do the rest from hand. Yep, there we go. And yeah, the gas fumes are definitely really strong. Alrighty. So I do have a bucket on standby, so I can go ahead and pull this up and out and go ahead and set it into a bucket. And whenever you do pull it up, I'll just actually set that ring off to the side. When you pull it up, do it slow because a lot of gas will be coming out of this. And you want it to like flow out slowly back into the tank and not all over the place in your cab of your car. And then there is the little float that's going to be sitting down. For me, it's closest to the camera where the little red and black wires are. And that little float is kind of sitting at a weird angle. So if you pull it up, keep in mind of that. All right, oop, there we go. Let me let just that gasoline flow out of that. All right, so now we got the new one. We're gonna go ahead and take this and set it down into place. There is like a little notch right here, and it kind of lines with this little tab right here. So whenever you put it into place, we want to rotate it around to about that position like that. So let's go ahead and set this in place. Make sure you put the little float in first. All right, and rotate it into position. And there is a spring on it, so we'll want to pop up, but we're going to go ahead and take this little ring and we're going to put it right back onto here. We're going to push down and go ahead and tighten it. We're going to kind of hold that in place so that we kind of know where it lines up, and then we can go ahead and spin that ring. All right, so now I have it hand tight. Let's go ahead and grab a little tool so we can tighten it a little bit further. All right, let me set the little tool up here and hook it into place. All right, that is nice and snug. All right, so let's go ahead and pop off this little black cover here. Then we go ahead and slide on this hose. There we go, and let's go ahead and push that little red ring into place. And then there's gonna be this little tiny black little cover on this one as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that right up and off. We're gonna go ahead and slide this hose right down onto that. And then we're gonna go ahead and take the little yellow clip and we're gonna go ahead and slide it right back into place. All right, and there we go, now it's locked in. And now we're gonna go ahead and take this plug and plug that right back in. So just like that, the whole thing is hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and flip the cover back on. We're gonna go ahead and just set it in place for now. And that kind of black gooey stuff will actually kind of seal it back down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push it all around the edges. But before you really do too much more, go ahead and start your vehicle. Make sure that everything runs properly and you are good to go. Alright guys, so that project was actually a lot easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be like this complicated thing, but it actually wasn't too bad. I did go ahead and start the car already. Whenever I went to go start up, it did kind of take a few minutes, like it was trying to turn over, but obviously with the new pump, trying to push the new fuel through the system, kind of took a few seconds, and then once I kind of got it cranked over, I gave it a little bit of gas to make sure that there's good fuel going through. I am going to do like a little test drive around the neighborhood, maybe when it's not raining, but if you guys did like this video, definitely go down and hit that like button. Also, there's going to be links in the description down below for the fuel pump for the assembly, and as well as like that little special tool and the breaker bar. Those things were actually all really cheap. The little tool was able to work actually perfectly fine, and I used the one, I think it was like half the price of the one that you technically should use, but this one worked just the same. But if you guys did like this video, go down, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But as always guys, thank you for watching.